Hello there, my name is Agape. I'm currently a Chevening scholar at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and here are a few tips on how to ace your interviews. The first thing I would say is go back and visit your essays again. There's usually a time period between when you get the interview notification and when you applied for your essays, a couple of months. So you may have, slept on the stories, may not have all those information up to date. So please go back, review your essays again. That's the first thing. Secondly, practice is so important, right? So get friends or mentors you can practice the interviews with, just so that you are used to that interview scenario, especially if it's something that you've not done before. So please do have some time to practice with other people and just say, okay, I'm going for this. If they are not Chevening scholars or people that know about the Chevening Award, explain what it is about, and then rehearse how you respond to the questions. The other tip is be very flexible. While the interviews are going to be centered on the questions asked in your essay, they may not always come in the same way. So you have to be careful to not think about the interview like you thought about the essay. The essay questions are fixed. You are sure it's the same question every year. But the interviews will be a bit more dynamic. So think about it like a conversation. Yes, they want to know about your leadership and your networking. They're going to ask you basically around the same questions in your essay, but it's going to be conversational. So it's going to be framed in a different way, like, oh, tell us about yourself and how you've been able to use leadership to create change. Have you ever experienced a difficult situation where you needed to step in and solve? Can you tell us about it? So both examples are talking about leadership. So you have to think about the interview like a conversation, like you're going to have a conversation. So you start off by saying, oh yes, I have experienced challenges, and I always look for ways to solve that. I remember one time when, and then you go in, but if you go with a straight jacket mentality and say, oh, my first example is this, it's going to come off, not come off great at the interview. Another tip is to really understand that at the interviews, you are a potential candidate. That's why you're there at the interview. But the interviews, they want to feel you. They want to understand you as a person. So they've read your essay, they've seen what you wrote, but now they want to meet who you are. So make sure your personality comes through. I know it's difficult, but try not to be too tense to the point where you don't come off as original. You understand? You wrote the essays, I believe. Those are your stories. So all the interview is about is sharing those stories, personally. So we want to see your passion. We want to see why this is important to you. We want to see how all of these things you told us in your essay interplayed together to achieve the result. So really let your personality shine through. Let your passion shine through. Don't be sloppy. Don't be, no. Be energetic, be enthusiastic, convey your information in a way that they would like you, because that's also important. People, don't think about that aspect. Yes, there's the objective assessment, but they want a candidate that, oh, we like the way this person, explained his or her point, and we want to go with that. And then the final thing I would say is on the day of your interview or the day before your interview, please rest well. Try to sleep early, try to get to your venue early, be on your best behavior. This may sound funny, but please be on your best behavior that day. You never know who you're going to run into just before getting into the interview hall. Make sure you connect with people while you are waiting. At every point in time, make sure you connect with people. Do thorough research. There are other questions. Yes, just before I leave, there are other questions that may be asked in the interview that may not typically be asked in the essays. For example, like what will you do in the UK? What other things will you do in the UK? Or what are you looking forward to doing in the UK? So some of these questions are not asked in the essay, but you can find great information about them on the Chevening site. So the Chevening site is a resource you will keep going back to after even when your essays or when you are getting to the interview. So please check out those questions, discuss with other people, get some mentorship to see what previous questions have been like, just to be in that frame of mind. Practice even on your own. That's something I did a lot. Just on your own. Okay, tell us about your leadership experience or what you've done so far to create change. And I begin trying those answers just by myself till it was sort of like second nature, and that really helped with approaching the interviews. I hope these tips were helpful. All the very best.